Hello and welcome to another episode of Pub Suds and Grubs presents
The Speakeasy.
The Speakeasy. What's up? What's happening, Ken?
Squeegee.
Squeegee.
Is that what you used to say when you
Squeegee.
said something at the same time?
I never heard that before.
Or buy me a Coke or something like that? Or Jinx. No.
Jinx.
Is
Jinx?
that it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
What's going on,
what's
my
up?
peoples?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Not bad, not bad. I'm
bad?
excited, man. We had our fantasy football draft the other day,
We
which
had
we
our
will be
fantasy
talking
football
about in a little
draft.
bit.
Woo!
But as always, I am thirsty.
Thirsty.
What do we have, John?
All right. We have a beer from Hill Farmstead Brewery up in Vermont.
Yes.
My buddy recently went up there for vacation, and he brought me some back.
What is it with Vermont? Is there something in the water? Is there something? I mean, they produce awesome beers up there between the Alchemist and and all these
New England IPAs, man.
And then
They're-
we had that Vermont Beer Makers that one
Yeah,
time. That was
yep.
pretty good too, man.
Yep, very
Yeah,
good.
They make some good stuff.
Yeah. I know Hill Farmstead is a very popular brewery up there, right? They're so good.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, they who was it? I think was it the brewer? Someone had opened up Suarez family.
Is that them?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's some kind of relation going on over
Okay.
there. Yeah. So
Suarez used to work
I
for
think
them,
that
clean their dishes?
I think he was the brewer there, and then
Oh,
he started his own
maybe
thing,
he's a janitor
or
and then
something.
he-
I think that might have been it.
I'm
Which you see,
no longer mopping your floor.
which you see quite often. A lot of times these brewers, not to say this was the case here, but have a falling out. Something happens, they decide to go elsewhere and start their own thing.
Well, look at
So-
Bricks. One of the guys there, he was one of the original brewers, and then he went off and he opened up two villains over in Nyack.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know
But
that.
I don't think there was a falling out. I think he just
Yeah, it's not always a
do his own
falling
thing,
out.
'cause-
I mean, you cannot blame someone
Yeah.
when they say, "Hey, I'm looking to kind of do my own thing and,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and be my own boss," and
Yeah.
so
a lot of these guys get hired as apprentice brewers, and then
Yeah.
they get into it and they learn their own stuff, and you move on. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
exactly.
All right, this one is called Harlan.
Okay.
I guess there's another version called Edward.
Yes,
and this
I've
is
heard of
Harlan,
Edward,
and
yeah.
this is I think they're around the same type of beer.
Okay.
But I don't know who they're named after.
Yeah.
This is 6%. It's an American India Pale Ale, nice and juicy.
6%. That's a good number.
That's a
man.
good number.
Yes.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Let's see how this is.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Nice finish.
Yeah,
I like that bitterness. I like that.
it's a good bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't linger. It goes away.
Yes, it's not one of those, those bitters that you're like you just can't get out of your mouth. It's a nice finish.
No, I dig that.
Yeah.
Thanks to my buddy Chris. He went up there with his family for vacation, and he brought this
Nice.
back for me. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
He's getting into bourbons too himself.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe one day he'll want to come around and hop in between us. And does that sound weird?
Do you want a John and Ken sandwich going on here or what? So yeah, this is solid, man. And I see you brought another one. I guess
Yeah.
you want to throw that in somewhere a little bit later on.
Yeah,
or
we're
what are you
definitely going to
thinking?
open that because I think this one's a little more. This one, I checked the ratings on Untapped. This one scored really high. And our dealer, Dom the dealer.
Yeah.
He visits this when he goes skiing in Vermont.
Yes, it's almost that time. Before we know it, he's
Yeah.
going to be back up there, and
Yeah.
we won't see Dom for a while.
Well, because it is Labor Day.
Yes.
It is Labor Day. It's the
Yeah.
unofficial end of the summer.
Yes, everything's happening. Football's starting. Kids are going back to school. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane, man. This summer went by so fast.
Yeah.
Why? The summer goes so fast, the winter just
The
hangs
older
around.
we get, the faster time goes, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too angry about it. Fall's my favorite,
Yeah.
season, and all the cool stuff's coming up.
Yeah.
Halloween, football, the cool weather.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just
but-
odd for me, like being... I remember like going to like the club and dancing, and I was a dance machine.
Yeah, like
and,
John Travolta over
yeah,
here.
yeah. I'd walk in, and
Yeah.
I had my bell bottoms on.
You
can tell by the way I walk. And now I'm like talking about like buying school supplies. And stuff, it's what.
Wonder if the market down the street has any fresh corn left over.
Yeah, your excitement is having
Yeah.
a nice sandwich nowadays.
Insane.
Yeah, or if you could have a beer by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sit down on my couch and have a beer all by myself. No distractions.
We used to go down the shore to go to like Martell's or
Tiki
Jenks,
Bar.
Tiki Bar, and now it's like we go down the shore. We're like, how much money am I going to spend? How much ice cream am I going to eat?
Yeah.
How many rides am I going to throw up on? Damn kids want to play games.
Oh, my legs are killing me. My back's killing me.
I refuse to pay for parking. I'm going to drive around for an hour until I find an open spot.
Yeah. That's life now.
That's life now, man. In the 40s.
Yes, and probably it only gets worse until your kids are old enough and maybe hit like 18, and then you can kind of have a life again. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it comes back.
Yeah, that happens. Then you divorce your wife, and then you can just do your thing again.
Yeah, and then you find like a 20-year-old and you start going
and
to
then
Jenks
you get her pregnant.
Yeah,
and then you got to start
all miserable again.
Yeah, and then you're miserable again. Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to stay with my wife. I don't think I want to do this over again. I'm good.
So let's talk about football here, man.
Yeah,
John and I just had our fantasy football draft. We're in this league. John's been in this league since when?
Myself and our commissioner Rob started this league at Jim Danny's on a poker Thursday night 17 or 18 years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah. Most of the guys are the same core group of guys.
Yeah.
And then people have come and gone.
Yes. So this was a league my brother actually was in.
Yeah,
so
your brother started it with us as well.
Although I didn't replace him, I did
replace somebody.
I guess it wasn't a big deal for me because my brother was in it, and I also owned one of those restaurants too. So I guess that's not the end of the world for me to join.
Nope.
So yeah, we had a fun time. We did a little bit different this time. Usually we had the whole board up. We went to one of the guys who's in the league. We went to his backyard. We just put our beers on a table, drank our beers, and it was a little bit more, I guess. Relaxed,
yeah.
It was. It was definitely more relaxed, but we weren't opposed to this time.
No, it was pretty cool. Change it up a little bit.
There was a timer, which we weren't used to.
So, yeah, instead of having a board, we did it on our tablets or phones. We had 90 seconds to figure it out, which was cool, watching everybody scramble.
I was the only one that timed out.
One person timed out.
And it was because I must have not crossed off a couple wideouts at the time. And I was looking for a wide receiver. And then I typed in the name. And I'm like, oh, no, they're taken. Then I went to another one. Oh, no, they're taken. Then I went to another one. Oh, my God. And then
computer said, F you, this is who you're getting.
Yes. So I
wasn't a bad pick it gave you, though.
It was a Matthew Stafford as my bench QB, which is
one round after you took your starting QB.
Yeah, exactly. Right after I picked up Tom Brady.
Hey, that's a good double head, man.
Yeah, hey, I got a good backup, and Tom Brady, I still have faith in him. He always puts up good fantasy numbers, and
somebody's going to get hurt, and somebody's going to be hitting you up for that.
Exactly. Yeah, at some point. It's a good trade option there.
Absolutely.
So, I could trade one of them, and I could always pick up whatever. It's one game that you could have a backup in, and whatever. I could trade them after Brady had his bye or something, you know what I mean? Yep. So, and hopefully he won't get injured.
Now, we've been doing this for, like I said, 17, 18 years.
Yeah.
And we started doing it. We picked the night of the draft. We picked our slots, where we were going to draft at. Then we changed it, and we did reverse order like football does, right?
Snake.
We did, but we did. If you were if you had the worst record in the league, then you picked first the next year. The winner of the whole league would pick last. That's how we used to do. And then we changed it again, where we started picking out of a hat.
Yeah.
And we start picking around July. So for about month and a half, we have time to
now
prepare.
I think he just does a randomized.
He does a randomized.
Yeah.
But we know our draft picks about a month in advance, so we have time to study. I did not study this year. It's been a crazy summer.
I never study.
I usually study for like a good month straight, mock drafts.
Oh, really?
Books and magazines.
Gosh.
Yeah, this year I went.
How do I win so often? I don't ever study. John, I look at things. I'm not speaking for you, but I look at things. I feel like too many people are connected to players from the prior year. So say they had a Matthew Stafford and he did amazing the year before, and they're like, oh, I got to pick him up. And then you got to just look at it. It's just the numbers. Just look at the numbers. Yeah. Don't look at anything else. Look at the predictions. The predictions are there for a reason. They kind of know. Sometimes with these QBs, they lose a wide receiver or someone's got traded. So although they were a good quarterback, they may have been a good quarterback because they had awesome
tools.
Yeah, they had tools they can work with. They had good protection. So things like that change. So that's why you can't necessarily go off what you had the year before. And, And the way I do things, like I said, I just look at. I don't even look at names. I look at numbers. I look at all the numbers I'm predicted on the side, and I just look at that, and then I select, and then. If you have time, you try to make sure you're not picking people that have the same bye weeks.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't do. I don't look at the bye weeks. I don't let that affect me.
Yeah.
I can add drop later or pick somebody off the waiver wire.
Yeah. Towards the end, when you're picking your bench in the backup, I will look at it more, obviously. Okay. And because I'm like, all right, let me try to get someone that's decent that doesn't have that I can easily swap with my starter.
Right. Now, do you have a strategy? So this year I picked 6th, you picked 7th.
Yes, we were right next to each other.
Yeah. So do you have a strategy as the best guy coming off the board, the best guy available? Do you like to do a no running back strategy? Do you like to do a no wide receiver strategy for the first few rounds? Do you have a strategy?
Yeah, well, there's no initial strategy. I look at it as a game of like chess. You can't decide who you're going to pick until you see those. Like for instance, like you're 6, you can't decide who you're going to pick until you see those first 5 picks.
Right.
Because say you have say the wideouts look freaking amazing this year, or you have someone that like Travis Kelce, who's a wideout and a tight ends. He's so good at both. He can get you numbers, and he's almost like having a third wideout in a way,
Yeah.
Depending on how many players you have in your league, if you have a flex option or whatever, all that fun stuff. But I think what it comes down to is what the first few picks are. So say you're at a 6, there's a good probability you're going to be picking out like this year a wideout, and because typically what people do is they pick the running backs first. You pick those first top 3 running backs, and sometimes the first round is all running backs. Sometimes someone surprises you and picks up a QB or something like in the beginning.
It's their first time playing.
Yeah, yes. Or they pick something, but sometimes other people's picks will force you to do something. Say you have 5 QBs within the 3rd round, you may consider either there's one top tier QB left, maybe I should just take them, or B, you look at that difference. So say the first top 3 or 4 QBs were projected to get whatever amount of points, X amount of points, and say they're relatively equal. And then the quarterback that maybe might be the 4th or the 5th, a lot of times you got to look for that drop. So you may see a huge drop in points between the 4th pick quarterback as far as predicted points and the 5th. If that's the case, wait on your 5th.
Yeah.
Because it's pointless at that point to try to get someone that's
I totally agree.
It's a waste of a pick. You can still pick someone that's pretty decent 3 rounds, 4 rounds later.
Because this 6, 7, 8, 9 guy, they're going to be a lot closer to each other.
Yes, yes. So, yes, when you say do you have a strategy, my strategy is just kind of play off what people have. See what the best option is. Depending what pick I am, if I'm pick number 2, I'm probably going to pick up a running back. Pick number 1, probably a running back. Pick number 3, probably a running back. Right. Running backs I find to be a little bit more scarce.
Yeah.
So
because there's only a small handful that are non-committee running backs.
Yes.
A lot of teams like to do a running back by committee. One running back is a pass catcher, the other running back is, the leading rusher.
Yes.
One guy does third down, one guy does goal line.
Yes.
It's all over the place.
Yes, and the same thing with QBs. You have someone like Lamar Jackson. He loves to run.
Yeah.
So,
he's not going to give you 4,000 or 5,000 yards. He's gonna run a lot more.
He's going to be running a lot.
He's not going to be throwing the ball.
He's good if he's a good goal line QB, when he's running, because he's going to get you touchdowns like that.
That's the same with like a Josh Allen. Like sometimes, 3rd, 4th down in the red zone, he'll take it himself. Mm-hmm. And now your wide out or your running back on that team is screwed.
Yes. So it's just like I said, it's a game of chess. So we started this. Me and John had met up earlier. We got some dinner. We held hands, and
I wanna hold your hand.
Yes, and we had pizza. It was a nice date.
It was. We went to the Brook Tap House.
Brook Tap House, which if you guys know Dave Portnoy, he's been over there, and he's raved about their thinny thin there, and that's what we got.
It was very good.
Yeah, John hasn't heard thinny thin since
Never.
Since he, well, it depends what we're talking about. But I wasn't talking about. Yeah, but anyways. So it's awesome. Check out Brook Tap House, by the way, if you haven't been there.
Cheers, Brook Tap House.
So yeah, we got the Thinny Thin. We had some beers beforehand. Then we met up with the guys. We had a couple beers beforehand.
Yeah.
Then we met up with the guys. And
we started about 8:30.
Yeah.
And we had a 90-second clock, minute and a half.
And I ordered a double of Bullet because I refuse to buy like really top shelf bourbons from a bar because I'm not spending that kind of money when I have it at home. Yeah. So I got a Bullet, and I started getting a little tipsy, and that's the issue when it comes to fantasy football. And you get a little too tipsy, and then you're like, oh, man.
You have too much fun with it.
Yeah, you have too much fun, and now with something like this, and you got a timer, and you're like, oh, shoot, it's my pick. Oh, no, I got to go. So who'd you pick up, John, anyways?
So my strategy this year was sometimes you could predict like the first round how it's going to go.
Yeah, you can.
Especially when you're playing with these guys for so long.
Yes.
You know who's going to pick who. So I had 4 guys on my list that I figured picking at 6, I'm going to take one of these guys are definitely going to be there. Right? I had Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, and Najee Harris.
Would you take Kupp?
I wound up taking Kupp because Jefferson was my number 1 guy.
Yes, I remember.
He wound up getting picked right before
his. Yeah.
So I went with Kupp. When I got home and I looked at it, I kind of regretted it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he put up insane numbers last year. I don't think he's going to do that again.
Yeah.
Number 1. And then Derrick Henry was going to be my running back that I wanted, and he was there.
And he was available.
And I didn't pull the trigger.
I think maybe you got swayed because Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson, I think overall were looking at top 3 picks for the year.
Yeah.
That threw everyone off, I think. But to see a wideout
go so fast
to be
and early.
To be on the overall ranking that low on it, you know, like in the beginning there.
Yeah.
It threw me off. Actually, I'll be honest with you, dude. If you didn't take Kupp, I was taking him.
Were you really?
Yeah.
All right. So that makes me feel a little better.
Yes. I took a running back.
Did you take Harris?
Yes, I took Najee Harris. Yes. So I mean, I took Najee Harris. I took Mike Evans. I think was my next one. Then I had George Kittle. And then I picked up a young player in there, too, with Travis Etienne.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah. And that's a good run, you know, just to have that running back.
And he's a pass-catching
yes,
running
he
back,
is.
So that's
he is, and that's a big thing.
We are in a PPR league, so,
you
know, points per reception, receptions count.
So that's big. That's huge. So it was. I actually kind of like those gambles once in a while, where people don't know about a player as much, and then you pick them up and they end up doing amazing, and you're like, sweet, because you know. So you know, I got him, Mike Evans, Tom Brady, which we had discussed, Allen Robinson as a wideout, George Kittle as a tight end, Tyler Boyd is another wideout there. So, and then I got made up fun of for a quick second because then people realize who you're picking up. I picked up Justin Tucker. I was the first one to get a kicker. And I'm sorry, he's a kicker. I understand, but he puts up his solid numbers all the time, man.
Yeah,
he's guaranteed. It's when you have someone that has a position that's going to be a starter for you, and it's a guaranteed 12 whatever points. I mean, and he gets those distance kicks, so we get extra for that. I know it sounds silly, but there's a method to my madness.
I'm sure there is.
And
I mean, you have won in the past. Quite a few times, right? You're in another league that you've won.
I've been doing fantasy football for maybe 8 years or so, and I've won maybe about 5 or 6 leagues.
Yeah.
So
you're doing something right.
I'm doing something right. John thinks it's my sheets.
You sign it. You pay for somebody to help you.
No, I don't. I never have.
You will not give me.
No,
a hint
I'll be honest with you, man. I think the reason is. All you guys, and I'm going to say this right now, know more about football players than I do. I always look at numbers, and that's it. I don't. So I was never a big football guy.
I will admit that I'm a big football guy. I know the players, and sometimes I do go by name.
Yes.
And you see that name there, and you're like, so like this year, actually, I did that. So my strategy this year was going to be, if I took a wide receiver in the first round, I was going to go running back, wide receiver.
Yeah.
If I took a running back first, I was going to go running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. So being that I took the wide receiver, I went with two running backs after, and I wound up taking Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
And this is the part. This is where the name got me. I wound up taking Ezekiel Elliott, who's on the downside of his career, but
still Zeke.
He's still Zeke, and he's been a top 10, top 15 running back still over the last few years. He still was 1,000 yards last year, even though he struggled to get it.
Zeke was.
I think I like it.
He was prone to getting cut from games and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
the thing is, he's got a very good running back up his ass in Tony Pollard, so we'll see what happens.
And he didn't he get in trouble a few times, Zeke, or something?
Yeah. But he's always, at the end of the season, though, he's always there. He's always has the numbers. So, and then I wound up taking DJ Moore as my second wide receiver, which this is the third year in a row I've had him.
Yeah.
And I really like him, especially this year because he's got Baker Mayfield throwing to him.
Okay.
My quarterback wound up being Kyler Murray, who was not on my list to draft.
Yeah.
And then he fell to me in one of the later rounds, and I was like, you know what? This is another Lamar Jackson type of guy, but he can throw.
Yeah.
And he can run, and I like that. I was like, I'm taking him. And then, unfortunately, my tight end is I never get a good tight end. I wound up taking Zach Ertz, which maybe is not too bad. He's a touchdown machine. Hopefully,
He's a big name, man.
With Mahomes throwing him the ball, maybe he'll get me some points. And then Chase Edmonds for Miami is on my my other flex option. But I wound up picking up Chris Godwin late.
Yeah.
Another one of Tom Brady's weapons, man. I was surprised he was there. It's because I know he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's questionable for the first week, but once he's back.
I should have picked him up earlier myself, actually. I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, oh, God, why did I pick up Chris Godwin, man? But you never know.
You never know.
All you need that first week is to have two of your players out for good, which happens within the week, first week, second week.
I mean, I was 5-0 last year, and then Derrick Henry got hurt, and I barely made the playoffs.
I am infamous for having crappy starts. I always start out 0-2.
Yeah,
and then I kind of figure it out. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You just kind of piece everything together, and you're like, okay, this works. Wait, this guy. And even when you're picking up your players, there's another thing too. When you're picking up players, don't look at necessarily projected points for that next week. Look at overall. Click on that player and see what they've put out. You have players. I've seen players that have had 20 points in 1 week, have 3 the next, and then do another 15 or something the following.
Yeah. Well, it's unpredictable.
You have to look at that, but you can say, I would take a guy like that over someone that's putting out 7, 8 a week. I want that guy that was able to put up that 20-something, 30, whatever points, because that's huge. Because you have someone that has the potential to be explosive, and they're almost like a something you have up your sleeve. I'm like, this guy, he had that game, and then you got to go as far as look at the defenses they're playing against. How were these? Look at teams that are similar to your team that or the player that's on your team. Okay, they played Miami. They played, they played the Giants, and they're like, okay, maybe Miami and Giants have a similar defense. This guy does good against defenses like this, and that's why you got to start him and get him in there. And
or the game's going to be a blowout, and you're going to be down. This one team's going to be down by a lot. This player's going to be down, and the wide receiver, and they're just going to keep throwing.
Yes.
And the running back is not going to get much points.
Yes.
And then on the flip side, you got a team that might blow out somebody else. Tampa Bay might be playing Houston, and they're going to blow them out, and the running back for Tampa Bay is just going to just keep getting the ball, just to run the clock out.
Yes, they're going to keep running it. They're not going to risk the passes a lot of times. Or I've seen games where you have your QB benched at half because they're killing the team so much.
Yeah, they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, they don't want them to get hurt. It's kind of a stupid thing to do. Yeah. And so there's a lot to it.
And I say what you were saying, too, with the projected points each week. Watch each week. Once by the third, fourth week, start looking at how the players did the prior week. Because last year I had a guy like Julio Jones, went to Tennessee thinking he was going to have an insane year because he's a name. Yeah. Right? He always had good years. He's going to a different team with a really good quarterback, and he shit the bed. And every week, CBS projected him to have 15 points, 20
Yes.
points, 18 points, and he was putting up 5.
And he never did it for you.
Never did it.
Yep, that was
Never
Melvin
did.
Gordon when he came back after that time.
Yet they still kept giving him high points projections every week because of his name is Julio Jones.
Yes.
And you're like, eventually he's going to have a big week.
You get to, and you keep starting them thinking they're going to have that week. And meanwhile, they're not doing it. You have someone on your bench that's doing freaking 10 times better.
Right.
It gets to a point, and people, everyone's going to look at you when you finally bench him. Like, oh, you're benching Julio Jones?
Well, yeah.
yeah, look what he's done.
Don't let the so-called experts. You want to look at people. This is their job. Like, see, there's guys there. This is their job. This is what they do. They do their rankings. They do their projections. This is their job. Yeah. But fantasy football is a gamble, man. It is. It's like playing blackjack craps. It's a gamble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guy might have the shits one day and he might not be playing. You don't know.
Yeah. That would be me.
Yeah. You've had the shits recently.
Oh, yeah. So it's exciting. We're doing this now. It's that time of year where my wife is like, really? You're going to sit there and watch football all day?
Football Sundays, baby.
Yes.
And we have a good first week coming up,
which
I'm very jealous because I am a Jets fan.
Yes.
And you are a
Ravens fan, and I will be at that game, actually.
You are going to MetLife Stadium for the home opener on September 11th.
Yes, sir.
And I am jealous.
Yes.
I do not go to many football games. I'd rather watch it at home.
I agree. I agree, but I said, John, it's a perfect scenario.
It's perfect.
My mother's boyfriend, he has season tickets. He never asked me for any money, which is always so nice of him. It's going to be
beers or something.
Yeah, it's going to be in September. I don't like going to games when it's too cold.
Perfect weather.
To me, it sucks when it's too cold. So it's a perfect. It's an opening game. It's
September 11th too. It's going to be nice to be in a New York. State of mind.
Sure,
Even though you're not rooting for New York, you'll be in a New York state of mind on that day.
Yeah. So it kind of was like in the beginning. I was like, I don't know, because I don't live too close to there. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to regret not going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's not often your team comes around that you can come and watch them.
Yeah, so we'll see. It should be a fun year.
I'm excited. How do you think your Ravens are going to do this year?
I mean, Ravens, they're pretty consistent.
They have a good team.
Yeah, they have a good team. They've always had their decision makers know what they're doing. It's not like some of these New York-based teams, technically New Jersey, but where I think a lot of times that management and who they're getting as coaches, I kind of wonder who's getting paid what for what reason.
Yeah, I think we finally figured it out, though. The Jets, I mean, I'm not thinking they're going to win a Super Bowl this year, but I think this team is up and coming. I think management's okay.
Yeah.
Coaching staff is okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited every year, and then by week 2, I'm disappointed. But you have to be excited for football, right?
Yes. I mean, just everything, between just going to the game like this or fantasy. Fantasy football is what keeps me in it, to be honest with you. That's what keeps me wanting to watch the game. I even used to get the red zone, and just watch that instead of watching just one game, and just watch that just for fantasy purposes.
I'm a big baseball guy, but I do think football has taken over as an American sport.
It is. It has. Yeah, it's not the way it was 50 years ago. Baseball, which, by the way, I went to a baseball game recently. So to minor league.
Minor league games are fun.
Yeah, the Somerset Patriots over there.
So you saw Anthony Volpe, huh?
Yeah.
The Yankees' big number one guy.
Yeah, I think he struck out when he first got
untouchable with the Yankees. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. So
those are fun games to go, especially with the kids. Those are fun games.
Yeah. My son had a blast, and it was like a little event where we had gotten free tickets and all that stuff, and food and all that stuff. Right. So it was cool.
With tickets, food, parking, you go to a Yankee game or a Major League Baseball game for a family of 4, you spend like $400.
Yeah.
You go to a Somerset Patriots game, you're going to spend like $40. It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. We had a good time.
Good, man.
So what do we got here, John?
All right, so let's do the second beer from Hill Farmstead.
All right.
We say Hillstead Farm. It's Hill Farmstead.
Hill Farmstead.
This is Double Citra. It's another American IPA, and this one's coming in at 8%.
All right.
So
getting a little more tipsy.
This is supposed to be really good. Citra is my favorite hop.
I do like Citra as well.
It's a cool can.
All right.
And let's check this out.
Cheers.
Jets, Jets.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice.
I'm getting a little tartness there. Slightly tart.
Little fruit.
A little fruit forward. Yeah. How was this one?
That's very good. I'm digging that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a high rating for me on Untapped.
Yeah, this is good. I was looking for a description, but
there's extra Citra in that one, I think.
yeah.
Probably that there, right? Or don't drink while you're pregnant.
Yeah, I was looking. A lot of times, I look for the the way they put it out there, the notes. But yeah, it's just kind of just talking briefly on the beer.
Yeah.
But
No, this is good stuff, man.
I like it.
Very good
Hill
stuff.
Farmstead. You guys don't do us wrong.
No. Thanks, Chris, for going up there.
Yeah, thanks again, Chris, for that.
He had brought back a growler. We met up yesterday, and he had one called Edward, which I believe is similar to the Harlan.
Yeah.
I don't know where these names come from. I'm going to assume they're people that
they're all
they knew,
names like
right?
Flora and this.
Yeah.
And that.
Double Citra. I mean, that's what I'm going to name my next kid.
Yeah.
Double Citra.
DDH.
DDH. Come here, DDH.
But yeah, that one's good, man. I like it.
Very good.
Solid.
If I ever get to Vermont, it's the first place I'm going.
Yeah. So what else?
It's September.
It is September. What does that mean? Back to school.
Back to school. Back to
with,
school.
Rodney Dangerfield
Or
and
Adam Sandler proved to Daddy I'm not a fool.
some Billy Madison.
Madison,
Billy Madison. I don't know. I think I like the Rodney Dangerfield classic.
So
Back to
School versus Billy Madison. You're going back to school. You got Robert Downey Jr.
I
in that
know.
one. That's a sleeper.
I know.
In there.
And you had the Triple Lindy there.
Yeah.
No one can compete with Rodney Dangerfield.
No way, man.
It's just Adam Sandler. I find over his years he's gotten
It's the same character.
Yeah, it's gotten. I don't know. He's got that. He's a little too corny for me at times.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, classic Rodney Dangerfield is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually like it. This is going to sound even funnier or stupider or whatever. I actually like Adam Sandler in serious roles, which you don't see too often.
No. Like what? Spanglish?
Spanglish. I love that movie, man. Yeah. What a great movie that was. Yeah.
Or Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love. Yeah, I think I like to see that with these comedians a lot of times and see what they really can do. You know, it's. I mean, look at Tom Hanks when he started. It was all comedic.
Dude, Tom Hanks. Did you see Tom Hanks' new role? Which I'm kind of excited to see it. He's playing Geppetto in the new Pinocchio.
Oh yes, I saw.
And it looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. There's very little that Tom Hanks does that is not good. You know, it's he
was just Colonel Sanders in Elvis.
Yeah, I saw something like that. Yeah.
What is he, Colonel what? Tom?
I don't know.
Uncle Tom?
I will just say Colonel Sanders, but hey, anyways, yeah. Back to school. Kids are getting my kid starts school. August. What was it? I gotta look at my calendar. What's it? I don't want to give away.
So he started school.
Oh yeah, he started.
What did he go into kindergarten?
Yeah, kindergarten. Ooh. So he started on the 24th.
Oh, so he's been in for a couple of weeks already.
Yeah,
that's early.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, is he going to a? Is it just a school that's like pre-K and kindergarten, or is it like a public elementary school that starts at kindergarten?
Public elementary. So
okay.
This is the first time we don't have to pay for something.
It's nice, right?
It's so
no,
nice.
You're paying. You're just not.
Well, yes, it's yes,
not in one shot.
We're paying with our taxes and things, but it's nice to not have to go somewhere because his pre-K was not free.
Yeah.
But it was still at the same school.
Same as us. We paid for them to go to pre-K.
Yes, and then before that was daycare. So it's nice to get a little bit of a break.
So is kindergarten here a full day or a half day?
Full day.
Nice, even better.
Yeah,
even better.
Yeah, so and so was pre-K.
So you get some bound time with the wife?
No.
Yeah, no, me neither.
What is that? So yeah, that's cool to see that he's in that, doing that now, and
that's awesome.
You know, the
kindergarten, man. Woo!
Yeah, time is flying.
My kids will be entering 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yeah. In 3 days.
Wow.
Yep. 7th grade. I have 7th graders.
That's insane. Time flies. I remember.
Gonna shed a tear.
When your kids were born, man. Yeah.
Gonna shed a tear.
Yep. Yeah. So it's exciting,
Which is insane because I remember 7th grade so vividly.
Yeah.
It was so when we were in school, we went from elementary school was kindergarten to 7th grade, and then 8th grade started in the high school. We went 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
We'd have a middle school.
We'd have a middle school.
Yeah.
Now the town has a middle school.
Yeah.
So you go from kindergarten to 5th grade, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th is in the middle school.
Yes.
And then 9th starts
Which
high
is
school.
normal. Which is
more of a normal thing, right?
Yes.
So I remember 7th grade when we were young was the last year being in elementary school. And that was scary because you were going to the big bad high school.
Yes. We were the beaners.
We were the beaners.
In 8th grade, they didn't, because they had your freshman, your sophomore, your junior, senior.
Yeah.
They didn't have a name for, until, in our town, they called them, for what reason, beaners.
Yeah. And we were, 12, 13 going into 8th grade with the 18-year-old seniors. So that was scary.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see these guys, and you're like, wow, especially the big football players. Like, well, man, that's a big dude, you know? Like,
you know what the weird thing is for me, though, with having kids going into 7th grade? And mom, dad, close your earmuffs. That's the first year I had my first cigarette.
Oh.
First year I tasted my first beer.
Yeah.
7th grade. If my kids were to do that now, I would destroy their lives.
Yeah. I won't reveal that information, just in case my child ever watches this.
You better not be watching this. PG-13.
It wasn't much different, but
no. But my kids going into 7th grade are at a definitely a more immature level than I was going into 7th grade.
I feel like kids are more immature in general
because we had more freedom as a kid.
Well,
I did. My parents are divorced.
Yeah.
They were working.
Once I started 8th grade and in high school, I mean, I was able to stay out till 10, 11, and just walk the streets.
But I walked to school by myself. I came home by myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't have mommy and daddy picking me up.
Yeah. It was a little bit different. I think kids are handed too many things nowadays, but I also think there's too many weirdos out there nowadays.
We're just more protective now.
Yes.
I'm sure they were there when we were around, but there was no social media to find out, so we weren't scared of it.
Yeah, that's the biggest fear. Is just you have, there's weird people out there to kidnappers and things like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, we did the back to school thing. Buying the pencils and they come with a list. You get an email now with a list of the stuff you
we
need.
get that too. Yeah.
What you needed back in the day was a pencil, a calculator, an eraser, and a pen, and a notebook.
Yeah.
What the hell they need all this stuff for?
I don't know. But I guess it makes it easier in the end. Now you don't have a situation where one kid has it and then the other kid doesn't have it, and I guess organization is a good thing. Yeah. Although I find that the first few days of school are the most chaotic that you can experience. And my wife's like, she's like, talking about the teacher didn't do this or the teacher. I'm like, just give them a chance. They just started. Let them settle down and get things going. They'll everything will come together.
I think the first 2 weeks. Give them the first 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you, I think.
So my phone just vibrated.
Technology.
Let's see. Health news. Anxious and depressed teens are increasingly using multiple powerful psychiatric drugs. They're a generation of guinea pigs, one expert warns.
Oh, so this is great news. Yeah. So speaking of kids, thank you, John, for that.
but do you remember back to school day when you were young?
I don't.
No? You remember how excited, so when we were young, there was
no
uniforms,
back to school,
like
night?
the first day, the first day.
Oh, the first day of school, yeah.
First day, right? You got dressed up.
Oh, yeah.
You got your nice
I had my
clothes.
Cavariccis on.
Oh, your Cavariccis. I had my Nikes that I used to, with the tongue, that I used to fill up with air to make it nice and tight.
I had my silk shirt, button-down shirt.
A little bit of cologne.
Yeah.
Wanted to impress the new teacher, the new ladies in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then by day 3, you're like, I wish it was summer. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to go to school.
I know. I think it's better the older you get. I think the older you get, the more kids want to go back to school. When you're younger and you're like 5, 6, 7, you're kind of like, I just want to play all the time. But then when you go back to school when you're a little older, you're seeing your old friends, everyone's catching up, and you're kind of,
Well, yeah, I think that's the more exciting part, is just seeing everybody that you haven't seen, in a couple months.
Yeah.
And it's insane. But now, though, my kids wear uniforms. Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
Because the morning time would be insane for me, especially with girls.
Yeah.
And my one daughter is she'd probably try on 5 things before she left.
Oh, God. Yeah.
My other daughter would wear sweats and a t-shirt. She wouldn't care, but uniforms make it so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although if it was me in school back in the day, if we had uniforms, I would have cried about it.
I kind of liked being able
but we're
to
boys. So throw shorts and a t-shirt on and we're good.
Yeah. Now it's, I think the whole uniform thing would be a little
when we were in school, though, girls wear sweatpants, jeans,
t-shirts,
sweatshirts. Now they wearing, their pants are painted on.
Yes.
I don't know what they're trying to prove or do out there, but
that's...
They're a little revealing for young kids now.
Yeah, it's I don't know what some of these fathers are thinking.
Oh my God! No.
I'd be
I don't know if they leave the house looking one way and change. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good thing I don't have daughters. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's rough. It's rough.
If I'd be able to handle that, or whatever. They're like, put some freaking clothes on,
Yeah.
But I do have nieces, but so maybe the uniform thing is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting year. I think it's going to be a fun year for the kids, and it's.
I personally can't wait to send them to college now because shit.
The only thing I'm nervous about though, John, is just like I just find that nowadays, like what they. How do you feel? Just to touch on this real quick, because I know we want to start wrapping things up. But how do you feel about the whole, what they can teach you in school? I feel like we've talked about this before, but what they can teach the kids and what is, and all that, and the curriculum,
I'm not too fond of the curriculum that they do. Not of what they can and can't teach.
Yeah.
How they're teaching it, I can't figure it out myself. And if I can't figure it out, there's something wrong.
I think
I can't help my own kids with their math homework because the way they're teaching them is
2
+ 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore.
I know, it's weird.
Weird.
I've heard about that, yeah. And it's like we'll have to relearn it, I find.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Yes, but I'm more concerned with confusing these kids and what they're teaching them, as in, especially with these identities and this and that, and how much,
Well, I found I had this conversation last night with some parents, and I found out something pretty funny, and I begged to the good Lord it doesn't go this far, because now you know what the new thing is. Have you heard the new thing called furries?
No.
It's people who identify themselves as animals.
Oh, I think I saw some of that with like woman or girl's a cat.
Yes, specifically cats.
Yeah.
So what the girls were saying, and I've heard this from multiple parents as well.
All right.
The schools are considering having little stalls that have so-called some type of litter box type of thing, so that the kids who identify as a furry
who the fuck cleans
can go.
Does the janitor have to come in there and scoop it? Do they have to scoop it or something? What's going on here?
I don't know. I hope these kids were just pulling my chain.
Yeah.
But I've heard some parents say there's no way. There's no way the health department. There's no way.
I think
that's ever going to happen. At least in my brain, I hope not.
Yeah.
But my daughters tell me there's kids in the school that got these thick collars.
Yeah.
They're wearing cat ears. It's gone way too far.
Yes, it's going too far. I mean, from the time, I don't think kids should be hit with rulers, but from the time that kids got hit with rulers to now, and actually that was something else I saw on the news. I don't know where it was, like Wisconsin or Wyoming or one of those states, and where the school stated you can slap the kids. Yeah, I think, but the parents had to give the permission, and it was like old school, But is that what
old school Catholic school?
Yes, is that what we're coming down to? Like you have to, and a lot of parents are like, yeah, absolutely, hit him if he's acting up, hit him. You know
what?
Like,
in certain schools, I've seen videos of the way kids act, and there's total disrespect to teachers.
Yes,
total disrespect to teachers because the teacher can't do anything about it.
Yes. I don't know, man. And especially,
but no, I wouldn't let anybody else hit my kid.
At my kid's age, who's young, he's getting, like I said, kindergarten, first grade, things like that. These kids, they look up to us as adults. They take our word as law a lot of times at that age, and it's just crazy how young they want to start teaching them certain things. Sex education. Why does a 6, 7 year old need to know about sex education? I don't understand that, man.
They shouldn't.
Yeah. You're taking away these kids' innocence.
Your wieners for peeing.
Yeah,
at that
it's
age.
that's
and that's
it's
what mommy
it
and
is.
daddy taught you how to use it.
It's for being, and that's
it.
it. It's come on, like they're babies still practically, you know.
Yeah.
Like just come, like I know you want to have your kid prepared and you want to, them to be ready, but I'm sorry, that I think the only reason they would have to be prepared is because you took that innocence away by doing things like that, and just let them be kids, let them play outside on the swings, let them, I think everyone's in such a freaking rush nowadays just to,
life as we know it is totally different.
Yeah.
When it comes to our children.
Yes.
Totally different.
It is. It is.
My kids recently asked me why there's a pocket in my underwear, and I was like, thank you. Thank you. I'm not answering that question, but thank you that you do not know.
Yes. Yeah.
I am okay with that.
Yes. I think it's a big part of the issue there, and
100% agreed. 100% agreed. But I'll tell you what, if my kid starts getting slapped in school and has to shit or piss in a litter box, I'm driving out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They're going to go to a one-room
He's going to shave
school,
up here,
shaving the mustache,
and keep the beard, and
they're going to get bonnets and dresses, and we're going to live a different way of life because that's unacceptable to me.
Yeah. It's too much. I think we, as parents, we need to say, we got to put our foot down and say, this is what we want our children to learn. Let's stick to math. Let's stick to things like history. History, like I was just telling John before. Yeah, history. History is so important. You got to learn about your past.
And that's changing too because there's certain things they can't teach them anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Who was racist back in the day? This president wasn't a good guy. This guy was...
Listen, it's called learning from the mistakes of the people from our past. And good, bad, what worked, what didn't work, what happened as a result of it. These are things we got to look at. That's what's important. Right. Not what freaking if you're a cat or not.
I mean, my school, when I went to school, was Woodrow Wilson School.
Yeah.
They changed it because Woodrow Wilson owned slaves. So now in history, my kids, I'm going to say, what school did you go to? I went to Wilson. Oh, he was a slave owner. No, he was one of your presidents. Learn the history.
Yes.
That's how it was then.
It was. That's the way it was.
Didn't mean he was this mean bad guy. That's what it was then.
Yes, and it doesn't mean we agree with certain actions.
No.
It doesn't mean we agree with this or that. But
that's why there was wars. That's why we won. That's why it's changed. It evolves.
Yes.
But it evolves in a different way than what's evolving now. It's not. Like I said, I don't want to go into the whole transsexual and changing things, but I have daughters. I don't want them using the same bathroom as somebody who could put on a dress with a penis and say, "Hey, I am a girl." No, because what is your motive?
Yes, are they really? What's going on here? I mean, I know there's some teenage boys that will go great lengths to maybe see certain things.
Back in the day,
he would have been a girl.
So horned up, I would have put on a dress to go into the girls' bathroom or locker room. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying.
And not and
it's not as simple and clear cut as they're trying to put it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, on that note, all the chaos. I want to talk about that more another time, though, because it's just, it's something that bothers us, and it's something, but, we like to keep ourselves at a certain time limit.
Yeah, and we're way over.
And also, Labor Day, let's celebrate that. It's
celebrate Labor Day. So that's the, the American workforce, man. The American, the laborers. This holiday started, I believe, became a holiday in 1894, 1890-something.
And, history.
To celebrate the American workers.
Yes.
Because Americans used to work back in the day.
Yes.
There used to be laborers.
And also, we're making a change with the podcast, by the way, guys, people. We are going to be, instead of Mondays for now, we're going to be releasing on Tuesdays.
Ken needs an extra day.
I need an extra day. It's been a little chaotic. Sometimes we shoot, and I got to edit everything right away and try to get it out there as soon as possible. I could use that extra day sometimes.
Because we know our millions and millions of listeners are eager to hear us on Monday mornings. Mm-hmm. And we apologize for that.
Yes.
But it will work out.
Yeah.
It will work out better.
Exactly. It's sometimes I'm rushing and...
You're rushing? That's another topic.
Oh, yeah. That's twice in a few weeks you've used that rushing. So, yes. And plus, John does the audio side of things, too. So he's got to write the descriptions as well and things like that.
30 seconds. You do all the work.
I do a decent chunk of it. So, so today, guys, we have Weller. This is another one from our Buffalo Trace slash Sazerac, whatever you want to call it over there. This is a 107, which I've discussed with Jay, who's been on here. We find that 107 is the magic proof. Between you have your WB Saffel, you have your Bakers. It just seems right, like that 107 is like that perfect proof.
I feel like that's a highway in California.
Yes,
driving on the 107.
This is
now we've had a Weller's before. What's different with this one than the one we've had?
So
before?
yeah, the one we had was I think the full proof, which is going to be a higher alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit pricier. Although these Weller, they seem like their prices are going crazy. Like the 12-year just jumped in price like crazy. Not too long ago. This one they say is like. I don't know. I've heard people say it's like one of the closest ones you can have to like Pappy, like a younger Pappy, but I don't know. You hear what's right, what's true, what's I don't know. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day we'll do a Pappy. We'll do the Pappy the Transgender. That's the new one. It's on shelves.
That identifies
starting this fall.
identifies as a squirrel and
a whiskey, a bourbon, and a gin, all in 3. So.
Yes.
No, awesome. Let's try this.
Cheers, dude.
Oh, that's nice. That's smooth.
Yeah.
That is very smooth.
Yeah, it's a good one.
If you see my face, that was smooth. I didn't.
Yeah. It's not even going for the water.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was very smooth.
Yeah. This is a good one, man. Absolutely.
I can see why the bottle's almost gone.
Yeah. You know what it was? I haven't been drinking as much lately. I just picked up 2 more bottles. Someone was selling on one of my groups at a decent price, and I was like, dude, I'll take 2. So now I could drink this a little bit more.
This is very good.
Sometimes my bottles I don't get as easily and are decent bottles. I try to sit on a little bit more and go to my go-tos more often. So
now, I know we spoke before. Is Weller's out of Kentucky?
Yeah, this is all from Buffalo Trace Distillery. So, which is the big one, the big one. So basically, the Weller, and then you got your, Stag Junior, Rock Hill Farms, Blanton's, Elmer T. Lee, So that's all from there.
I like that a lot.
Taylor.
Mixed with E.H. Taylor was a good one. When we did E.H. Taylor, that was one of my tops. Yeah,
they know what they're doing over there. Yeah.
No, very good. Mixed with a little bit of water. It tasted very nice. Very nice. I like the bottle. It looks like it's a little handmade glass bottle there. With
Yeah. This is. It's.
Now this is sold in a store. You can just go to the store and buy this, or is that a hard?
This one's harder to get. It's weird when it comes to bourbon too. Sometimes like something like this you can get in like Ohio probably a lot more easier than you would here.
Because I see you do have a few.
I have a few. I've been looking for a couple. There's a couple other I'm still looking for.
You got the weeded bourbon. Oh, they're all weeded.
They're all weeded.
Okay.
With the Weller, they're all I'm actually looking for CYPB, which it's a Craft Your Perfect Bourbon. I don't have that one yet. The single barrel I don't have yet either.
If anybody sees it,
yeah, we'll get
contact
there.
us.
We'll get there. I'll get them at some point.
One more question with that though.
Yeah.
So, I honestly last week, I think it was last week when we had our guest on Mario. We were talking about weeded bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first I've heard of that, though. How many times have we done weeded bourbons on the show that I didn't even realize?
Yeah, I think it's just a percentage of how much wheat they put into it. Yeah,
that's the first time I'm recognizing.
I mean, bourbon's not bourbon unless it's got that ratio of corn. Yeah. So, and then sometimes they have like that corn rye combo. Yeah. So this one's more of that weeded. So
okay.
But yeah,
it's the first time I'm really noticing the weeded part of the bottle.
Yeah, and we had the we had that one. Yeah, there's so many different varieties. But yeah,
he brought one last week, right? It was a weeded.
He did. Yeah, it was the Balcones. Yeah, he brought that.
That was one of my teachers in high school.
That was a
Mr.
rye.
Falcone? No, Falcone.
Yes, Falcone. Mr. Falcone. But yeah, I mean, this is solid stuff. I mean, this one you can't go wrong with. Weller's, you're always going to get some good liquid there. And it's a good finisher to this podcast, actually. So,
Absolutely.
On that note, what shout-outs we got, buddy?
We got shout-outs to Hill Farmstead.
Yeah, right.
Right? Shout-out to Wellers.
All right.
Shout-out to my buddy Chris for picking up the Hill Farmstead.
Yes.
Shout-out to
Thank you,
all the
Chris.
laborers out there, right?
Yes.
Happy Labor Day.
Yes, keep working.
Keep working. Shout out to all the kids going back to school.
And shout out to our educators, too. We know it's not easy work.
Shout out to our teachers. Yeah, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, it can be tough. Especially, for some reason, why is it that no school has air conditioning? I feel like when I go to these open houses and things like that, it's so freaking hot in these classrooms, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think more do now.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You go back to Roosevelt School, grammar school you went to, I think there's a lot more air conditioning.
Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. It used to have to only be the computer room when we were in high school.
Yeah.
You'd go in there and just, see steam coming off you, you know? It was just so... It's...
No, but yeah, shout out to our teachers because there's a lot of parents that blame the teachers for their kids' failure.
No, it's typically your kid.
It's probably your kid.
Your
it's probably
kid's
not
an
the teacher.
idiot. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No, we don't know. Every
Not
situation is
an idiot,
different, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but and as cheers to you, John, and
cheers to you, Ken. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, and
cheers to this being our last Monday.
And good luck with your fantasy football. And
you do the same.
Thanks. I am gonna beat him when I play him, but it is
see
what
you
it
in
is.
the
You know,
Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, and cheers to you guys as always.
Peace.
All right.